welcome to the first episode of a series I'm going to be calling Peculiar Predators. Within this series, I'm going to be looking at all the weird, wacky, wonderful ways that animals hunt and find their own food, because there is just some absolutely amazing and different and just downright weird ways animals actually can get their food out in the wild, as they can't just go to the supermarket and buy it for themselves. So sit back and enjoy. And if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe, because I'm going to be doing more of these. Hopefully I'm going to try and do one video a week sort of thing. So starting off with a bang, we have got the giant Amazonian centipede. I don't know why I've chose this one, I'm not a big fan of insects. But it's really cool the way it finds food. So this, a bit of backstory about this guy. They are the largest centipede in the world. They're about 30 centimeters long or 12 inches, so like, yay big. I don't know how to measure. I bet you cannot guess what this guy eats though. I'm gonna give you 3 seconds to guess what these guys eat. No guesses. They actually eat bats. So they're a bat-eating species. They actually specialize in hunting bats and have their own weird, wonderful way of actually doing this. So the way these guys hunt bats and the way they actually go and kill them is that they will go into caves, they will scurry up the walls, and then they will do this. They will dangle from the ceiling, waiting for a bat to fly past, and they'll only hold themselves by like 5-6 of their legs, and then the rest are ready to grab and jab a bat. Because they have got these pincer-like things, so centipedes are known for having a pair of legs for each segment of the body. These guys have said, I want to be different, I don't want that. I want to have that for all of my body except for the front, where I'm going to have a pincer-like jaw that actually is venomous. So they're like poison claws sort of thing, so they're like a poison claw. So what they do when they are hanging upside down, they will actually wait for a unsuspecting bat to go and fly past, and will jab it with these poison claws, and inject this venom, which will eventually paralyze the bat. So once the bat is then paralyzed, they will scurry over to the bat and start eating it. So there was a study done in 2005, around 2000 to 2005 it took place, where researchers went in to find the centipede, and they actually found that they start at the neck, go into the chest cavity, and then go into the abdominal region. And by the time they grabbed these 2 specimens, they actually saw that 35% of the bat had disappeared. So it consumed 35% of the bat in just the time that they saw it, hit it, started eating, and then grabbed the 2 specimens. Wild. So rate for the giant Amazonian centipede, 6.8 out of 10. 6.8 legs out of 10. But these guys are really cool. They actually have really cool adaptations to be able to take down their prey, like the pincers being instead of legs, being able to hang upside down like that. It's just terrifying. And being able to catch a bat in the dark when it's flying really quickly past them is just insane. But it's knocked off a few points just because I don't like things that have that many legs. The second animal we're going to be looking at that has a very weird hunting style is probably one of the cutest animals I have ever seen in my life. And nobody can take that away from this little guy. His name's the Margay. It's a nice change from looking at Satan's Spawn that we just looked at. But these guys are a small spotted cat from Central and South America, and they are what we call fully arboreal. So that basically means he likes to live up in the trees, and he lives in the trees for the majority of his life and will rarely go to the floor. And his main source of food is things like small rodents. Not too sure how he gets them, and I don't think anyone does know how they get rodents when they're up in the trees. But also primates. And this primates are very commonly eaten by things like leopards, snakes, birds of prey, but it's very rarely witnessed, as people just don't see it. But it's known to happen because there have been remains of the primates found in feces of different animals, so like bones and things like that of primates. So it's a known thing to happen and very common thing to happen, but it's just very rarely witnessed. The way these guys hunt is so cool. They actually will just mimic what sounds the animal makes, so that could be a bird song or the sounds of a troop of primates. So some researchers were actually out in the rainforest and in the tropical areas, and were kind of looking and found this troop of monkeys, and they knew there was a margay in the general kind of location. And they heard a call that wasn't quite the right thing, but it sounded like a juvenile one of these primates that they were looking at, one of these monkeys. But they knew what all of them were, so they were wondering where it was. And the one that was on the lookout was kind of like, oh, where's it at, where? It was the Margay. It was this guy. He was just trying to mimic them to get them into unsuspecting position so he could pounce and catch one of the primates. And in the one that they watched, it was unsuccessful. But no, big cats don't tend to have the best succession rate anyway for hunts. But it's just really cool to see that they use vocalization to mimic an animal to try and lure them into an unsuspecting position to then eat them. It's just a really, really cool hunting method. Even though these guys have been known of for up to 200 years, like the Margay, they've been known for 200 years, they're still a very enigmatic species, which is just a fancy word for mysterious. But they just aren't that known of. But oh my god, I want to learn everything about them, because those eyes are the biggest, cutest looking thing ever. This couldn't hurt a fly. If it was starving in the tropical rainforest, I would be like his mom, eat it, chew it, go on. Just because I want this to live. I love this. The Margay gets a rating of 8 out of 10. I'm just gonna say fake till you make, buddy. Like, they are so cool. It's always cool when they try and fake and mimic something. And it's really interesting when an animal tries to copy something. Like, we know parrots and parakeets and cockatoos and things like that can vocalize us talk. But when it's used in the aspect of finding food and hunting, it is just so, so cool. It's so damn cool. But yeah, again, fake it till you make it, buddy. You'll get there. I'm rooting for you. Final animal, animal number 3, that we're going to talk about is a thing called the archerfish. So, or as I like to call him, the aquatic sniper. This guy's a small surface-dwelling fish that lives in tropical Asia and North Australia. And he eats mainly insects and things like that. But like most fish that eat insects, they will just wait for insects to kind of appear in the water, fall off a branch, or be blown off a branch, or whatever, because they're stupid. Not this guy. He shoots them. Not with a pistol, but he will spit water with quite a bit of velocity out of his mouth, so it's kind of like that, or, you know, and knock them off the branch into the water where they are helpless, and he will just eat them. He will murder them. Like anything else that eats any living animal. There's many things that this fish has to take into consideration when doing this, like where the bug is, how is it going to shoot the water, and a little thing called light refraction, and the distortion in between water and the air, pretty much. Because light hits the water and it changes the angle of stuff, like it does here, which is called light refraction. So to combat light refraction, what it does is it will actually swim as much as it can underneath the prey, so underneath the insect on the branch, just so it's as straight of a line as it can be, and it's not kind of like hitting it weird, because light refraction's a weird thing. But then also with its mouth, the way it's adapted is it's actually a much longer mouth with a much flat and wider tongue, and it can actually lift its tongue up to the roof of its mouth and make a barrel. So make like a barrel on a sniper rifle sort of thing. And then it has very strong jaw muscles that it will kind of go and spit this water stream at the insects to hit it off. And it is like, it's scary. It's like pinpoint accuracy. Like it is pinpoint accuracy, where it'll just hit it and it'll fall into the water where it is helpless and it can eat it. It's pretty cool. 10 out of 10 for the archerfish. I feel like if I don't give it a 10 out of 10, I will be shot, as he is the aquatic sniper. But no, it's really, really cool. It's one of the most unique things I've ever seen an animal can do, where it can just like spit a stream of water, and the fact that it hits things that are out of its own territory, out of its own kind of like whole world, which is the aquatic world, and hits things on the terrestrial world to go into the aquatic. It's bonkers. But it's just really, really cool, and I like the archerfish. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, please. It helps me out a lot. I want to push this out to as many people as possible. I want to try and make a difference in the world, trying to educate people in a fun way, and also show why we should conserve and save loads of different animals. But thank you very much for watching.